Welcome to Daily Plunge. We are in the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 1, verses 1 through 28. Now, Ezekiel says he's in the 13th year. I guess it's his 13th year of while he's in exile. And he has been there longer. He went in part of the first wave of exiles. But it's the 5th year of King Jehoiakim, the last surviving king of Israel, that he's there. And Jerusalem has been sacked. The temple is gone. And in the midst of this exile, he sees a vision. Now, Ezekiel is a priest. He comes from a priestly family, which means that he has been trained in the ways of the Lord, that he's been trained in the Torah and other books of the Old Testament. And before him, he says the word of God is coming to him. In fact, he'll say this many times in this book. And so he's having these visions, but really what it is that the word of God is coming to him. And as it says, the hand of the Lord was upon him to strengthen him, to absorb this incredible vision and to be able to do his task of sharing it. Now, he says he looks and there's this windstorm or this electrical storm of this great cloud, and there's thunder and lightning, and then suddenly he's in heaven, right? And you have these living heavenly creatures, and they're created. They're not God. They're created by God, but they have 4 heads and all these wings, and they're flying around, and it says that they look like flaming torches because the Spirit of God is upon them, right? And they move in a way that cannot be determined, understood in our earthly frame of reference. And they defy our dimensions. Now, one of the things, it's really easy for us to get lost in the imagery of the prophets, especially Ezekiel. And we need to back up and remember, first is that we need to keep our eye on the big picture. What is the big ideas that Ezekiel is trying to convey? Secondly is that the part of the language that is used time and again is that of an appearance like, this likeness. And, how is Ezekiel supposed to explain these heavenly beings that are beyond our dimension and live in a different way than we even have a concept of, let alone how is he supposed to express who the unfathomable God is? And so to recognize that all of this, we can't get lost in the language because it's just scrambling for trying to get a handle on what is beyond our comprehension. Now, as he watches these creatures moving around in a way that he doesn't understand, we're just in a lobby, right? We're in this unearthly lobby, and he's already overwhelmed, right? Already can't comprehend the movements and what's going on with these creatures and like these wheels that are there, which, that they're moving, and it's really a sense of how God is, in the midst of all this. He's working. But then there's the vault up above. There's the throne room. And all of this is a theophany. All of this is a God encounter. Just like when Moses encountered the burning bush, well, this one's off the charts, right? He's into the throne room, and he is overwhelmed and awestruck with the holiness of God, which is, all of this is meant to empower him for the incredible task that he has, which is first to see Israel's wickedness in light of God's holiness and his covenant. To understand then why God has judged Israel and why they've been punished with exile. And where the Babylonians thought that they conquered Israel because Yahweh, the Lord, is so weak, the truth is that this God is greater than any idol of Babylon. And this throne, full of fire and radiance and rainbow, is the presence of the living God. Hey, thanks, friends. Have a blessed day.